Alright guys, so I'm pulling up to runway 10 left, as you see right there, 10 left. So I am going to do a final lineup checklist and then get ready for takeoff. And if you were using ATC, you would have to wait here until ATC gave you clearance for takeoff, but we're not using ATC, so we don't have to worry about that. So now we would do the cabin signs, probes, anti-ice on. So we'll go ahead and turn those on, turn anti-ice off since we don't need it anymore. It's been on for 2 minutes. That's checked. Lights and strobes, everything is on. We got our landing lights on. Our taxi light, landing light is on. All our outside wing lights are on, so that's good. Transponder is off right now, so we gotta turn that on. So in order to do that, the transponder is the third one. So how you get there is you would click the big wheel on menu data until you get to that, and then you'd use the little wheel to set it to TARA, and that is checked. Then you would check your CAS. Nothing's on there, so it's perfect. Go to the next menu, that's the after takeoff. So we will get our landing gear. So right now what we'd want to do also is get our flight director set up. Click VNav to get that ready. And we would check our nav source and make sure it's set to FMS1, which it is set to FMS1. And we are ready for takeoff. So let's get this puppy on the road. So I have my Lava 6 departure procedure and the flight plan ready to go. Line this up at the runway. And we are ready for takeoff. So we want to get them up to get our throttles up to about 60 right there. We'll get a nice rolling speed. Once you start rolling, pretty good. Sorry for the frame rate. It's my first time screen capturing. So we're going at a nice roll. We want to bring the throttles up until it says TO on both engines. So both engines right there say TO, that's our takeoff power. Our V1 and VR and VT speeds have already been set. So we just got to look for that in our airspeed indicator. We are approaching V1 right now. So you'd call it out. You would say V1, rotate, and V2. Lift off. Get a nice rate of climb. Gears up. We are climbing at about 2,000 feet per minute, which is good. We can maybe go a little lower, go to 3,000. Just to keep our airspeed consistently going higher. Our rate is 4,000 right now. Might be a little too high. Bring it down a little bit. Airspeed, bring our flaps up. Go ahead and set autopilot now. Autopilot set our vertical speed. and hit nav and turn off half bank because we don't need the half bank, and everything should be set to go. We are going to climb at 3,000 feet per minute until we reach Kosug. I believe that says 3,000. Yep, 3,300 feet per minute. We'll reach Kosug in 9 miles. Once we reach that, it'll automatically go to our next waypoint and adjust our vertical speed. We can do our after takeoff checklist. Landing gear flaps are up. Taxi light is off. Anti-ice as required is off. Thrust lever set to climb. Left hydraulic pumps off. If you had them on and didn't leave it in auto, you would turn them off right now. Bleeds are transferred and off. Pressurization is checked. APU shut down. Go ahead and hit APU off. And go ahead and turn our APU off. And we can go ahead, hit enter, check our CAS again. No warnings, so that's perfect. Airspeed's at 300, we are still climbing. Our altimeter is set. I checked that while I was taxiing, so that's already been set. OT mask check, cabin signs as required, exterior lights as required. So go ahead and close that. So now we just enjoy the flight. As you know right here, this is a way you can tell if your flight plan is logged and if it's following the FMS by this red line. So you'll see a red line. See that red line right there? That's our flight plan. So my plane is right here right now. It's following a red line right there, and it will make a left turn to our next waypoint. And that beep you just heard, that means that we are 1,000 feet away from our set altitude. So we should be reaching our set altitude within 1,000 feet. We are also going to hit Kosug at 4 nautical miles. So that climb was a little fast. We could have set it to like 2,000. So we could have just had a smooth climb. There is a restriction though where you do have to keep it at 5,000 for a certain point, or 6,000. So we will hit that point and we will make that left turn, go to our next waypoint. Check everything over again. Our electrical looks good. See, that's the turn. So we're going to Okor at 9,000 feet. So we are climbing 1,500 feet per minute. Bring back our throttles and our airspeed. So we're not climbing, so we're not building up too much speed. Our vertical speed is 1,500 feet, which is good. And we're going to keep climbing until we hit 9,000. And then we're going to go to our final waypoint, which will be lava, and that'll be the end of our departure procedure. And then I would hit load and switch it to our Seattle flight plan. And that's where, once I switch it, that's probably where I'll stop this video and then show you the ILS approach, well, the descent and ILS approach. So we've been flying for about 2 minutes. Always tracking real date and weather. So this is how it is right now in the Seattle-Portland area. It's a great day. Definitely a nice day to be flying. So we will be hit Okor in about a minute, and then we will go into our final waypoint, which would be lava, because we are using the lava 6 departure procedure. not much else to check right now. Everything's looking good. If people are complaining it's too hot in the back, you can always bring cooler air or AC. And once we hit 10,000, we can go ahead and turn off all the exterior lights. And go ahead and turn off our landing lights and our wing light. And once we hit our cruising altitude, that's where you would turn off the seatbelt sign. So now, yeah, we just hit our next waypoint, so now we're headed towards lava. So we're going to climb until we hit 14,000 feet. That's in 14 nautical miles, be there in 2 minutes. And once we're approaching that, about 0.5 miles away, that's where I'll go ahead and switch to the next flight plan, and then I'll probably stop this video there. So there is one key thing about when you do switch your flight plan mid-flight. There is one key thing you must do, and I'll tell you that when we get to the moment of doing it. But it is very important that you do that, because if not, the switch won't work and you will just keep flying straight, or whichever heading you're headed towards. So I'll let you know that when it comes. We're about 10 nautical miles away. We can keep our airspeed at about 280. We can leave it, try to get up to 280. We're climbing at 1900 feet per minute. So this automatically kind of calculates out how fast you should climb to get around this altitude within this distance. So that's nice. That's why I use the vertical speed. You can also use the flight level change. So with the flight level change, you would click that, and then the speed right here, you would adjust it up or down. And as you're basically descending or ascending, you would go at this speed until you hit this altitude. It's good sometimes, but I just prefer using the vertical speed because it kind of just does the work for you. But if we did want to get to 14,000 feet by using the flight level change, we would just set it to about 275, 280 on the vertical speed. I mean, not the vertical, on the actual speed. And this is how you change your vertical speed. So this right here, it's set automatically for us, but if you wanted to go faster or slower, or higher or lower incline or decline rate, you click it up or down. So we are about 3 miles out. We're approaching 13,000 feet. We'll hear that beep. There it is. That means we're 1,000 feet away from our set altitude. So if I wanted to, I could just change the flight plan right now, which I'll probably do. I'll change it at 1 mile and show you how to do that. So we're basically at lava. So we go ahead and hit load, KPDX to K Seattle, and then you have to hit execute, and you'll see the new flight path or flight plan in red, but you must hit execute. And we will be climbing till 18,000 feet, and it had it set for 700 vertical speed, but that's too low. So I want to get there so we can have time to cruise. So we will set it to 2100 airspeed, keep it around 280, and that's all set. we're on our flight path to Seattle. The first one was our Lava 6 departure procedure, and now this is our actual flight path. And if you guys want any help or want to know which plan I'm using or whatever, which waypoints, etc., and flight levels, etc., just leave comments below and I'll try to inbox you back with as much help as I can. But for now, I think you got the gist of the takeoff and how to set your flight and all that. So I'll probably end this video here and come back on the third video and show you my approach procedure and ILS approach and how that's all done. So yeah, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for part 3, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.